Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. I'm here today to introduce to you a brand new die in our BotaniCuts collection. This one is called BotaniCuts Pine Bough, and it features a gorgeous layered pine bough along with layered pine cones, and I think you're really going to love putting this one together. So let's get to it and I'll show you how to assemble this die collection. Alright, so I have all the pieces already cut. You will notice that in the set you have two longer pine needle elements, two shorter pine branches, and then also the twig. And then you have all of these funny looking little pine cone pieces, which when you layer them up correctly, they make this really beautiful layered pine cone. So let's get started. You're going to want to start with the more dense, larger, longer pine needle piece, which is this one right here. I'm going to add some adhesive down the center of that die cut. I cut mine from green cardstock, and then I also sponged a bit of ink onto them using a finger dauber and some Distress Oxide ink to give a little shading. You can add color in many different ways with these dies. You can add color with colored pencils, by sponging ink. You can keep it really simple by just cutting them from colored cardstock, just kind of whatever your look you're going for. And now I'm taking the long but narrower pine needle section, and I'm going to layer that over the top. And so we basically have that longer branch sandwiched in between the two needle layers. So then that allows that branch portion to show through the needles and create really a realistic effect. So we're going to do the same thing then with the shorter needle portion. I'm going to add some adhesive down the center of that one, and I'm going to add that to the back of this shorter branch, and then we'll add the other piece, the other short piece, over the top of that. Same effect. So that's how this die was designed to be put together, but you of course can use it in many different ways. You can layer it differently. You can use just the little sprigs on their own and omit the branch. Just kind of depends on what look you're going for and how you want to use that. So then let's move on to the pine cone. There are two pine cones. They're exactly the same. They both take the same pieces. There's a large and a small of every piece in the die collection. I have already assembled the small one, and we'll do the large one together. So you're going to start with the base, and I have the pieces lined up in their order here so you can see what goes on the top and all the way down to the bottom. So we're going to start with this really small piece, almost looks like hair for our pine cone, a little toupee, and we'll add that to the top. I glued that on with a little liquid adhesive. So these other pieces are actually going to get tucked inside of these slits that are cut into the base of the pine cone. And I actually found that it's easier to not glue those and just tuck those in there. So it starts off with the triple pronged piece with the tiny little detail over on the side. And when you get that slipped up in there, these side details will fit and they'll line up. So that's how you'll know you have it in the right spot. And then you can take the next piece, which is this one, and we're going to tuck that one up underneath there as well. Just get that situated up in there so that these edge details also kind of line up, just like that. And then there's the little tip of the pine cone, and that is going to get slipped underneath that bottom slit in the base of the pine cone. So just go ahead and slip that one up in there, and that one does not have any details to line up along the edge. That one just kind of gets nested up inside of there, just like that. And then to secure all those layers, I'm going to flip it around to the back side, and I'm just going to add a piece of clear tape, stretching from the tip of the pine cone up to the top. I didn't cut that quite long enough, so I'm going to add another piece so I can catch these top layers here and they don't slip out on me. Okay, and there you go. You have a really pretty layered pine cone and a pretty pine branch. Glitter that up and you'll have some gorgeous elements for holiday cards. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on putting together our brand new addition to our BotaniCuts die collection. This pine bough die will go up in the shop on Friday, November 22 at 10 a.m. Eastern at thegreetery.com. Thanks everybody.